Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to go over the disassembly and reassembly of the KelTec P50. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we go. First things first, we're going to make sure this firearm is unloaded. We're going to pull back on the charging handle, make sure this is not pointed at anybody. We're going to make sure there's no rounds in the chamber, no rounds in the magazine. We're going to close everything up. We're going to press this lever down back here with our thumb while we lift up on this upper receiver, the upper part of the gun, whatever they want to call it. Pull this up, take your magazine out, place that aside, and then we're going to flip our gun upside down. All right, now that everything's upside down, you can do one of two things. You can either use a screwdriver, right, a bullet, some object to go down in this little hole right here to pry this bar forward, or you can use your fingers. If you use your fingers, just make sure they don't get pinched. You're going to kind of wiggle them around until this bar moves, just like that. Once this bar moves back, we're going to keep it pulled back just a little bit as we lift up on our bolt, and this entire assembly will come right out. See that? That whole thing comes out. That's as far as you're going to take apart the bolt completely. All right, now your charging handle, you press down this little lever right here, you press it down, pull this guy out, the whole thing comes out. That right there is as far as you're going to go with disassembling this firearm for field strip, or as far as KelTec wants you to take it apart. So to clean it, you just spray it off with whatever kind of solvent you want, scrub it down, dry it off, put whatever kind of lube you want to put on it, and then to put it back together, it's going to be the exact same as taking it off, except in reverse, all right? So make sure the gun's upside down. We're going to take our charging handle. We're going to make sure it is in properly. As you see, there's that little piece that we pull back on with our thumb. You also have this little cutout right here. That's where that little claw is going to grab. Make sure it's in there just like that. It should be sitting there just like that. If it wiggles a little bit, that's okay, as long as it's in that channel. Now we're going to take our bolt assembly, whatever they want to call it. See how it has those two silver shiny spots, or not shiny spots, but these bullet looking things? Those are going to go down towards these two holes in the front of the gun, right? Once we get them kind of lined up, we're going to pull back on this bar right here. Remember, we pulled that back to get it out. We're going to pull back on it and slowly and gently let our bolt go back down and make sure that everything is nice and flush across this way. See that? It should be nice and flush across this way. If that bar is canted up one way or canted up another way, one of these recoil lugs, whatever they want to call it, is up, so make sure everything is nice pressed down. At this point, you simply take the gun, make sure you have an empty magazine. I guess you don't have to put an empty magazine back in, but I prefer to. Make sure everything's in, give it a nice little slap. All right, now that everything is put back together, we're going to do a quick function check, something you probably should do anytime you take a gun apart, do any maintenance on it. You want to make sure everything's put back together properly. We are going to make sure this firearm is pointed in a safe direction, which it is. We are going to charge the weapon, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, nothing in the magazine. We're going to put the firearm on fire. Again, pointing the firearm in a safe direction. We're going to pull the trigger. We should hear the hammer drop. We're going to keep the trigger pulled to the rear. We're going to charge the weapon again. And as we release the trigger, we should hear the trigger reset. Very good. Now we're going to place the weapon on safe. We're going to pull the trigger. Nothing should happen. Place it back on fire. Now it should fire. Charge the weapon. Place it on fire. Excuse me. Place it on safe. Very important. And now you're good to go. All right, guys. I hope you found that informative or helpful, or at least something. I don't know. But if it is, please let me know. If you have any questions, again, please let me know. Appreciate you watching, subscribing, and everything. Hopefully we'll catch y'all in the next video.